Good afternoon. I'm Bruce Goldstein, Film Forum's Director of Repertory Programming. Our guest is the writer and historian Matthew Sturgis, author of this stunning new book, Oscar Wilde, A Life, published by Knopf and on sale today at our box office. Mr. Sturgis is also the author of acclaimed biographies of the German-born British painter Walter Sickert and illustrator Aubrey Beardsley, whose work inspired the design of tomorrow's film, the 1923 silent Salome. And here he is from his home in London, Matthew Sturgis.
Thank you, Film Forum, very much for having me. It was one of Oscar Wilde's boasts that he had taken the drama, the most objective form known to art, and made it as personal a mode of expression as the lyric or the sonnet. And nowhere is this truth more evident than in The Importance of Being Earnest, Wilde's trivial comedy for serious people. It creates a perfect world as distinct and distinctive as Alice's Wonderland or the Athenian woods of Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Every line and every situation is stamped with the impress of Wilde's personality, and the whole confection is imbued with his deliciously subversive philosophy that we should treat all the trivial things in life very seriously, and the serious things of life with sincere and studied triviality. It was Wilde's last play and his greatest success. He wrote it over the course of a summer holiday at the seaside resort of Worthing in 1894, and it is infused with a holiday spirit. The incidents of thwarted romance and ingenious duplicity unfold in the happily inverted world of Wilde's invention, a parallel universe in which the emotional lives of the characters are entirely dominated by trivializing aesthetic considerations or unexpected intellectual concerns, a world in which to lose one parent might be considered a misfortune, but to lose two looks like carelessness, a world where the very name earnest produces vibrations. At every juncture, expectations are confounded and orders reversed. Paradox, Wilde's most distinctive rhetorical device in his own conversation, became the accepted currency of discourse. The play may have been a riot of fun, but it also operated as a rebuke to, and a satire upon, the whole tenor of Victorian society, with its self-consciously earnest pretensions to social decorum and moral conformity. It offered, too, a chance for Wilde to carry forward his own personal campaign of subversion. He doubtless enjoyed the echoes that the plot provided with his own increasingly involved double life as an outwardly respectable husband and a clandestine lover of young men. And although there is no evidence that the word earnest was, at this period, a code word for homosexual, the play's title did seem to offer a sly allusion to a recently published volume of homoerotic verse entitled Love in Earnest. And there were other playful personal touches. Wilde vented his irritation with his sometime publisher, John Lane, by giving his name to Algernon's inglorious manservant. The play was a success from its first performance on February the 14th, 1895. It went, as one of the actresses recalled, with a delightful ripple of laughter from start to finish. The reviews were enthusiastic. George Bernard Shaw, the arch contrarian, was an almost lone dissenter. He thought the play heartless. But his verdict did nothing to slow the play's success. It marked the high point of Wilde's achievement. But in life, comedy and tragedy often walk together. And within weeks of opening the play, the play was overtaken by the terrible events of Oscar Wilde's downfall. His ill-advised libel action against the Marquis of Queensberry, his subsequent arrest on charges of gross indecency with various young men, including one he had picked up on the beach at Worthing during the previous summer, his eventual conviction, and his imprisonment for 2 years. During this unfolding catastrophe, the play struggled on for a while. Wilde's name was removed from the playbills outside the theatre, but this proved only a temporary stay of execution. The fact that he had seeded the play with autobiographical allusions was liable to provoke discordant remarks from the gallery, particularly the mentions of Worthing, which was now associated in the public mind with his seduction of the young Alphonse Conway there. The play was taken off on the 8th of May, in the midst of Oscar's trial. A New York production opened on the 22nd of April and barely lasted a week. But the image of Wilde's world could not be denied. It remained untouched by the circumstances of his personal misfortune. The play began to be revived even before Wilde had served his 2-year prison term. It became a staple of the provincial touring circuits, and it has continued ever since. Indeed, it is easy to believe that there is scarcely a moment when a production has not been going forward somewhere in the world. It has appeared in numerous new and different guises, as an opera, a ballet, a comic strip, and, as in this sumptuous Technicolor instance, a film. It endures as a perfect work of art. It enriches our lives, and it reminds us of the vital importance of not being too earnest. Enjoy the film.